Hello lads. On the previous episode of my Greek campaign, not quite a lot happened, and my gameplay was mostly limited to trying to balance the budget and providing some commentary regarding the state of my economy and the rest of the world. So let us continue and hopefully get some more things done. I was postponing the shutdown of my textile industry because I was hoping that the British would bring me back into their sphere, but since it is evident that this is not going to happen, I will just accept my loss and be done with those unprofitable factories. And with a little bit of micromanagement, it appears that I have stabilized my industry a little bit, without my factories having to rely on massive subsidies to remain afloat. Of course, this came at the cost of over 50,000 craftsmen losing their jobs. Hopefully, I will be able to make something about it. And here we have yet another Franco-Prussian war. And I finally noticed that the real reason why Germany has been underperforming so far is because, despite suffering several defeats, Bavaria is still a great power and thus they cannot be feared. And this doesn't just cuck Germany, but it also cucks me because they have a solid grasp on the 8th rank, which more or less prevents me from becoming a great power as long as Bavaria exists. So yeah, I will probably either have to prestige spam or somehow increase my industry score if I ever want to become a great power. So I was trying to expand a couple of my factories and I noticed that there is a very nasty shortage of iron right now. And by checking the trade tab, you can see that the demand for iron is almost double the amount of the supply. And over the last 3 years, the price has doubled. But amusingly enough, the same isn't true for steel. So yeah, I can't help but wonder what exactly causes this. And the latest Franco-Prussian War appears to have ended with a minor German victory, with the Germans forcing Russia to release Estonia, but not making any territorial gains at the expense of France. So I just got this event and I guess it's worth it to pay up so I can host the Olympic Games. And it looks like, thanks to the availability to coal that I have, that my synthetic dyeworks was a success, and as a result I am able to maintain a single industrial level of textile mills, which is nice and profitable, as you can see. So a crisis just popped up with Tatarstan demanding independence, and they have German backing. But the funny part is that Russia has been thoroughly devastated as a result of its recent defeat against Germany, and right now they are more or less about to fall to communist rebels. So yeah, Russia is pretty much fucked. I will just dissolve our alliance. I don't wanna follow them to their grave. Looks like Russia gave in and gave independence to the Tatars, but their capital just got occupied by the communists. So yeah, things are looking pretty rough for them. And 3 days later, it just happened. There they are. Something tells me that it's only going to go downhill for them from now on. Diplomatically, I am aligned with Germany, Austria and Italy, and since Persia lost its protection from Russia, I seized the initiative and offered them an alliance, and if I ever become a great power, I will bring them under my sphere for the sake of their oil. They look like they are just about to westernize too, which is good. And since we are approaching the 20th century, I will make sure to invest in military technology so I can invent gas attack as soon as possible. And it looks like Thrace is finally about to become majority Greek, which is great. I was looking forward to it for many years. So, with my economy being a little bit more stable compared to the previous episodes, and with the 20th century approaching, I think it's finally time for me to upgrade my fleet a little bit and potentially do what I was talking about on the previous episodes and show a little bit of naval dominance. And you know, obviously I am Greece, I cannot overdo it, but I think that the farthest I will be going for will be ironclads and monitors, and I think that this will be just fine. Also, what I'm about to do right now will appear to be a little bit random, but I will essentially declare war on Bavaria since they have zero allies and nobody to protect them. And the reason that I will be doing this is because Germany appears to be stuck in a state where they cannot incorporate Bavaria into their realm, since they are a great power, even though Germany has won 3 or 4 hegemony wars against them. And what I think that has happened is that Bavaria has gotten so much prestige, probably it was just lucky events for them, that it's almost impossible for them to fall out from their great power status. And Germany somehow appears to have sort of given up on Bavaria, and they are not attacking them even though their truce is over. So yeah, I will be encouraging Germany to attack them, and hopefully sooner or later they will fall out of their GP status and Germany will unify, granting me a powerful ally. The most powerful ally in the game, in fact. And of course, with Bavaria being in the 7th rank, if they get annexed, that means that I will finally be able to become a great power. So France right now isn't having a very good time, because after losing Sudan to a rebellion, I am pretty sure that Ouattara and Tukulor just rebelled for them. I don't know about Tukulor, but I am pretty sure that Ouattara just rebelled. And it's funny because they don't actually have land access to these two colonies. And judging from all these rebels, we might see soon even more African uncivs popping out. I also find it interesting that neither Germany nor Britain showed any interest in subjugating Sudan, judging from the fact that with the scramble for Africa war goal, they could have annexed this territory very cheaply. And it looks like Japan is right now a conservative republic. And just as I was saying that France isn't having a very good time, it looks like they just got in a war with the United Kingdom. It appears that the Brits want this territory right here for themselves. So yeah, with the already vulnerable and precarious position of the French in Africa, I really don't believe that they will be able to contest the Brits. It's only gonna go downhill for them from now on. So I cannot exactly explain what happened due to the chaotic nature of Victoria II economy, but I will try my best to explain. Essentially, Britain has brought me back into their sphere of influence recently. But for whatever reason, as soon as they declared war on France, my industry immediately collapsed. Note that the damage happened immediately on the moment that they declared war on France, not when they spared me, but when they declared the war. And I have noticed these incidents several times, but I have never been able to pinpoint what exactly causes this phenomenon, and I suspect that nobody else knows. But anyways, it is a fact that right now my industry is in shambles, especially my bottling works, and thanks to the strength of the British sphere, I can more or less no longer derive any income out of tariffs. So yeah, this gives me incentive to become a great power as soon as possible, even more, because if I don't, then I am more or less screwed. I guess that worst case scenario, I would have to resort to using that event that kicks them out of my country, but we will see. So it looks like my original plan backfired a little bit. Apparently no one is willing to join the war, which is pretty surprising. I was actually expecting both Austria and Germany to join due to political considerations. And for a second I even considered marching my army all the way up here in order to settle things myself. But my general RNG has been completely atrocious in this game, and leaving aside the fact that I might just run out of money by the time my troops reach there, since I will also have to increase their military spending, I can't even be completely sure that I would defeat them judging from my city generals. So instead I will just suck it up and accept the infamy that I got, and instead I will try to leave the British sphere of influence as soon as possible. Like, this is actually horrible. It's been only weeks since this incident has happened, and I am practically losing tens of thousands of cash each week, even with my budget and my spending being set too low. Like, being sphered by the Brits right now was just about the most horrible thing that could happen to this campaign of mine. Like, every single factory that you see right now is completely bankrupt as a result of the English intervention in my economy. This is terrible. And I can't even decrease my relations fast enough for me to be able to survive this. And their war with France just ended with the Brits obviously winning. But my problem still persists, possibly because the United Kingdom just got at war with Italy. I seriously can't wait until the moment to get out of their sphere. My game experience right now is completely horrible thanks to this. And there's really nothing you can do, there's no way to counter this. I could cancel all industrial subsidies, but craftsmen are around 10% of my workforce. If I do such a thing, then I will end up with 400,000 unemployed pops. And finally, I can leave the British sphere. And just like that, my economy almost spontaneously recovered. And it looks like Greek settlers have started to Hellenize the Arabian desert. That's pretty funny. Anyways, that's it for this episode. This time things were a little bit surprisingly rough. I was kind of expecting to be having an easier time but thanks to my low rank, I am pretty much at the mercy of RNG in terms of my economy. My economic independence is completely compromised, and as you just saw, I lost over 50,000 in cash over the course of a few months just from being sphered. And I think that in order to counter this, on the next episodes I will be focusing on prestige techs and prestige spam as much as possible in order to alleviate this problem of mine. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope that I will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.